Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have an article here that is very revealing of the hypocrisy employed by, in this case, United States of America, which talks about Turkish invasions in the northern part of Syria. Remember, Syria is an independent sovereign country, and the United States calls them as invaders, or don't invade here, don't come here, you're going to disrupt the equilibrium, the balance, the tranquility of the area. So let's see how this article goes. This article is from yesterday, July 15th, 2022, and is from ABC News. ISIS stands to gain from potential Turkish offensive in Syria, Pentagon warns. So ISIS, which somehow is still alive, kept alive, revived, I don't know what's going on over there, will gain from potential Turkish offensive in Syria, which is northern Syria, which is the Kurdish area, which they want to take care of, but the the Americans are protecting because they're going to use those against Assad. Now, let's start with the most obvious thing. Syria, independent country, sovereign country, the government is recognized internationally, okay? So it's like any other country. It's like United States, it's like China, it's like France, with its leadership, legitimate leadership. Let's go and see what's going on over here. Pentagon leaders are increasingly concerned about a possible Turkish military invasion in northern Syria and have begun planning for how it could impact the U.S. fight against the Islamic State terrorist group, according to two senior administration officials. Now, what is U.S. doing inside of a sovereign, independent country without being asked to be over there? How did it get there? Oh, it's fighting ISIS. Very good. ISIS bad dudes. But were you invited? No. Okay, so next time when you have shootings here in Detroit or in Chicago, Illinois, then the Chinese or the Russians can, go and land a few thousand people and destroy those gangs who disturb the community and maybe will threaten even the mayors here in this area, or maybe the governors. Who knows? So, and destroy our tranquility as citizens unless we have things to maybe, feel safer. So, is that possible? Of course not. Should it happen? Of course not. This is the internal issue of a country. All right? Now you say, well, ISIS was, the government, the legitimate government of Syria, Assad, right? He invited one specific country to come and help. And what's the country's name? Can I answer? Yes, Samuel. That is Russia. Now, Russia was invited. The rest invaded. So that's the difference between being invited and invading. Now, Americans are crying here, Pentagon, that the Turks are going to invade. But what did you do? So they talk about Ukraine being invaded, the sovereign country of Ukraine invaded correctly, right? Correct, by the Russians. Their army came in. Is that an illegal act? Yes, it is. What about the other one? Why did the Russians say they invaded? Because their people were killed by the government of Ukraine, from Minsk, not yet, from Kiev. Here, ISIS was destroying and creating a problem, right? And killing people. And they intervened. So if this is justified, what else could be justified? And we find how many Americans are over there. And by the way, they are on the area where Syria's oil kind of is. And that oil doesn't, goes to Syrian people to sell it because that's their natural resource. That's on their country. They should manage it. No, it's someone else managing it. That's why the guys in Venezuela are managed by Chevron and a little bit by Chevron, and they nationalize all those things. And that's why they're a pariah of the United States. The same these guys in Syria. But now they got the oil, Syria could stay. Assad could stay. So the main concern is that any Turkish military movement in Syria would draw the US partner, the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, away from the battle against ISIS. Really? We strongly oppose any Turkish operation into northern Syria and have made clear our objections to Turkey. Dana Stroll, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, wow, it's a big name, good position, for the Middle East, said Wednesday during a discussion at the Middle East Institute in DC based blah blah blah. All right, let's go and find out here something else. It says on May 23rd, President Erdogan said his military was preparing for an operation in northern Syria with the goal of expanding a 30-kilometer, 19-mile security zone that expands south from the Turkish border. Well, you know, that's discussable, but how can you do that on another country's territory? Let's say Turkey, let's say talking to Turkey, I don't know, let's say who should we say? Should we say Greece decides that it needs a 30-kilometer border in certain areas, you know, in the island areas, in Mediterranean Sea or something like that in that area? Could they do that? Or let's say United States and Mexico. Mexico decides to create a 30-mile or 19-mile, 30 kilometers border, you know, strip, which is going to protect them from the crimes that occur across the border. Could they do that? And why not? Preemptive strike. So let's see here how many, I know that I found how many Americans guys are here. But nevertheless, I don't, until I find that little information, which is right here. The US military currently has about, how many people do you think it has over there? Okay, I will tell you. About, they don't even know, or they're not going to tell us, 900 troops in northeastern Syria. And that's where the little oil is. They take care of that. Many partnered with the SDF, the guys over there in the north, providing air support, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance and training. The US does conduct unilateral missions, but most counter ISIS missions are partnered with the SDF. Well, wait a second, what are you doing? That is the first question that I'm going to be, you know, snagged on or grabbed on. What are you doing? Why? You are not, you know, you're not invited over there. You're illegally occupying a territory. You invaded illegally an territory, a country. And now Turkey wants, is like this. There's a house. Let's say it's my house, and I am sleeping in the middle of the night, which I don't sleep. Nevertheless, and you got a thief, an invader comes in my house and tries to, you know, find money, find whatever they think they can find. And they're inside here with the flashlight. And then all of a sudden when he turns, he sees another guy over there with a mask on and with a flashlight. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Well, I'm here to protect, I don't know, Emil from being robbed by anybody. What are you doing here? Well, I don't know, man, I'm doing the same thing. I'm protecting myself if Emil does something stupid, okay? But we're both in his house in the middle of the night, trying to rob the place, you know, but we are just over there. It's not the point, what the are you doing in my house? Get out. No, it's not that. The conversation is, you're not supposed to be here. I object if you are here. And the other guy say, I object you being here. Well, but I'm here because I need to protect Emil. What are you talking about? Who are you? Who are you? So, there you have it. I would say I will have to use this, 2 invading nations, you know, in Syria. And I'm pretty sure there are some other countries over there too. At least they were when ISIS was over there flexing its muscles. And those countries, again, were not invited. And that by definition, it was an invasion, illegal invasion. Where is the United Nations? Where is the human rights? Where is the United Nations Security Council? Where are those? Where is they kicked out of SWIFT? Did they any sanctions on anybody? No. So that's why, you know, that's the way the world works. So when they tell me about Russia doing things by the same guy who does the same thing and did the same thing many times before, Zero value, your word. The same when the US intelligence community is telling me something, zero. Well, especially the Great Britons and the United States. Why? Because they did what they did so many times. There's no redemption here. Start over somehow, but I don't know how. I mean, I know, but thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.